In an age long past, Saturday morning was a time of wonder. Legends were forged and 1,000 adventures across countless television sets. In time, that cartoon magic faded, and our champions were forgotten. Until now. Journey with our heroes into the past as we rekindle the wonder of those weekend cartoons. Saturday morning lives again here on Saturday Morning Roleplay!
Hey everyone, and welcome to Saturday Morning Roleplay. On each episode of this podcast, we pay homage to the beloved and forgotten cartoons of our youth by playing a tabletop RPG based on those classic stories. I'm your Game Master MC Williams, but you can call me Mickey. And with me at the table are...
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Bolaños.
And I am David Nair.
Hi, and I'm S. Hollis Sadler.
Saturday morning cartoons weren't always cute and cuddly. They were also thrill-packed roller coaster rides of adventure, mystery, and danger. The cartoon spy show has its roots in Johnny Quest and Secret Squirrel in the 1960s, but didn't really see an explosion until the late 80s and 90s with such classics as Kim Possible, Codename Kids Next Door, Inspector Gadget, Totally Spies, and James Bond Jr. Each had its own unique spin on the classic spy tropes of the radio serials and classic movies, but nearly all of them featured an all-kid team, and even Inspector Gadget had Penny and Brain as the bumbling inspector's much more capable sidekicks. To get around the usually lethal stakes of a spy versus spy thriller, you either had bad guys who could only ever seem to hit tree branches to drop on the heroes, sweet kung fu moves, or weird sensor-friendly gadgets that probably would still have been super lethal without the help of cartoon physics. So how about we go around the table here and talk a little bit about our experience with these various spy cartoons?
My experience with the genre is going to be limited to older cartoons. I wasn't really watching cartoons when Kim Possible came about. I somehow missed James Bond Jr. I thought everyone was lying when they brought that up, but I found it on YouTube. It's real. But no, I did watch a lot of Inspector Gadget. And one you didn't mention, Mickey, Danger Mouse. I watched so much Danger Mouse.
That was an incredible omission on my part. You're absolutely right. Danger Mouse is fantastic. I also grew up watching a lot of Inspector Gadget. I was just young enough to catch Codename Kids Next Door. Not so much Totally Spies or Kim Possible, although I saw some of that later on. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, so for me, I've always loved the spy trope since I was little. I'm not really sure what drew me to it. I somehow, David, missed James Bond Jr. I have loved James Bond since I was small, and my parents thought I was old enough to watch James Bond. How did I miss that? That feels like a thing. But yeah, I loved Inspector Gadget. I loved, I feel like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego also kind of fits in here as well, and as a big Carmen Sandiego fan. Anything with a mystery to solve, or spies doing spy, Harriet the Spy was another one that I adored. All of those things. And every time there was a new spy thing, I was all about it. And for me, Codename Kids Next Door, I feel was younger than Kim Possible. So it's interesting to me that you were I caught Codename, but not Kim. But I probably caught Kim because of the female protagonist and the female-driven stories. And as a little girl who loved spies, so much of it was not female-driven. So really exciting to, and for someone like Kim, who is very down-to-earth, she's a cheerleader, but most of her personality does not come across as stereotypical cheerleader. So I loved Kim Possible. And I guess I would have been I don't even know how old I was. What was that? Early 2000s? So I would have been in high school. And that was still enough for me to vibe. It's yes, Kim, let's go. But Totally Spies I missed. Never, yeah, that one just was never for me. But everything else Spies, I was all about it.
Unlike my cohorts, I absolutely did not miss James Bond Jr. I have distinct, a lot of my younger memories are lost in a cloud of THC and terrible decisions. But remembering watching James Bond Jr. at my grandma's house is something I'll never forget. I also I loved Johnny Quest. I was just old enough to catch the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, the 90s reboot one, and that show went so hard. I think one episode, I remember distinctly catching an episode after school, and one guy dies in a spike pit in minute 1, and another guy gets torn apart by robot tentacles in minute 2. I'm okay, well I was having string cheese, but apparently people's lives are on the line here. I was a little too old for Kim Possible, but my nieces weren't, and they loved it. Like Katie was saying, like they were very female oriented, and rarely ever felt like they were condescending. It was a very sort of like refreshingly like accessible take on like superheroing spy stuff. Kim Possible was such a cool little odd duck because like she was called a superhero, but they were basically doing spy stuff, and like so many of their villains were like spy movie villain coded. I actually Danger Mouse is the one I never caught. Friend of the pod, Blake and Travis love Danger Mouse. I just never caught it, but I mainlined James Bond Jr. I had the Nintendo game. I had the action figures. Oh yeah.
I played like the regular James Bond video games with the needlessly bloody line down the gun barrel. Man, how did we miss James Bond Jr.? That's crazy.
I don't think anybody under the age of 40 who was in like the radius of the late 90s got away from GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah.
I honestly think if you weren't of legal age to vote by 2002, you were required legally to play GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64.
There are remote tribes that have never found civilization or the internet who have high scores on GoldenEye.
Yeah. Yeah, you play the pause music from GoldenEye, they're jamming instantly.
Okay, but I played it on Sega Genesis, so
Heretic.
I'm gonna need to disconnect from this podcast for religious reasons. You guys are great.
No, but I definitely remember James Bond Jr. I can still quote his catchphrase: "Bond, James Bond, Jr."
For anybody listening who doesn't want to take the time to YouTube it, imagine if the Archie comics were at a snooty like boarding school, but also lasers went off. There, you've watched every James Bond Jr. episode. They're great.
Accurate. So, to dive into our own cartoon spy world, we'll be using a stripped-down version of Night's Black Agents, which uses the Gumshoe system, both by Pelgrane Press. Since the game was built with solving a mystery or conspiracy in mind, it uses a rather unique game mechanic. Each character has two sets of skills, investigative and general. General skills are all rolled as a d6 against a difficulty of between 2 and 8, with a pool of points that can be spent to improve individual rolls. Investigative skills, on the other hand, don't require a dice roll at all. A good investigation will become frustrating if key clues are missed because of a bad die roll, so these skills will simply work if a player with the skill wants to use it in a scene where that skill could obtain a clue there. Many clues will be potentially accessible with a variety of skills, so it is still up to the players to declare the skill used and the information the player is seeking. The game bounces between investigative scenes and action scenes, allowing both sets of skills to shine. Now let's go around and introduce our ragtag band of teen spies.
So Katie again. I am playing Sadie Dealins, codename Shady with an I. Make sure you spell it correctly, please. And I am head cheerleader, princess of the Flemming High School. And I am also, what's the position called? Infiltrator? Thief?
Thief, sure.
I'm Parker in Leverage, if that helps. Cat burglar. It's exactly what my trope is I am a cat burglar type, who's very good at hand-to-hand. Oh, and my mother is a famous spy, and nobody knows what happened to her. Okay, continue.
All right. David again. I am playing Bernard Downs, a.k.a. Burner Downs. He's modeled after Bender from Breakfast Club, for anyone old enough to remember that reference. Basically the outcast, the kid that people have tried to have kicked out of school, also a genius. And my trope is kind of a little bit Q and a little bit, if we're going Leverage, Hardison. Yes, a little Hardison from Leverage. Just the tech expert, computer expert. All around technology is magic, and I am a wizard.
Red Hat.
I'll be playing Bo Revity, who codename Wit. Bo was born to be Richard Keel's Jaws from the Bond movies, but his soul belongs to being Q. He's a big old slab of human being. Definitely hit his growth spurt at like the age of 4 and just hasn't stopped growing since then. His passion is quartermastering and having all the equipment on hand that could possibly be needed to get the job done. His secret passion that he guards very close to the chest is just how much he loves the NPR announcer Mary Coast and her talk show, bringing a certain amount of class to the AM radio waves.
So join us now for a high-stakes cloak and dagger adventure set in one of the most dangerous environments known to humanity, high school.
Dun dun dun.
In the distant year of 2000X, the students at Ian Flemming High School deal with your typical teenage drama: parents, pop quizzes, and peer pressure. There are also spies in training in the top-secret program codenamed Spy High. They're the first line of defense against a host of diabolical threats, especially the teen spies of the People's Republic of High School. They're rivals in the bright lights of the football field and in the shadowy world of espionage. Spy High, the next generation of thrills.
For the future generations of clandestine operations and covert infiltration. Spy high, spy high.
We've got intel, yes we do. We've got intel about you. Matriculation depends on manipulation and the false cooperation of the heads of foreign nations. Okay, students, let's give disinformation.
Spy high, spy high.
So we open to find two of our beloved characters here, Sadie and Bo, sitting outside the office of one Principal Axiom. You have both been summoned here as a result of some sort of shenanigan you recently got up into. What shenanigan has brought you here to the principal's office today?
It was discovered that Bo, who is very low-key and overlooked by many teachers when it comes to various whodunits and hullabaloo that has gotten up to, is quite often overlooked, and it turns out he has been running a little itty-bitty bit of a black market out of his locker for such things as high-stimulant honey buns and the sodas that are banned due to their extremely high fructose corn syrup and chemical X contents. The principal is partially upset that he is bringing illicit chemicals that could or could not turn the students into were-lizards into the school, but primarily the principal's upset that he is undercutting the snack machines that fund the band camps.
Sadie was caught buying one of these sodas. Look, she has like a really big meet coming up and she really needs to be on her A game, and she has exams coming up at the exact same time, and who plans these things to be at the same exact time and expect her to be a star at everything? I'm under a lot of pressure right now.
Sadie is barreling towards her own very special episode.
Somebody cue up I'm So Excited from Saved by the Bell.
Yes.
I don't know how put together and zen Sadie is, but I imagine the principal's waiting room is a cacophony of partially exploded landmines that were dug up from the football field to sabotage the cheerleading practice. And Bo is just calmly reading his mail. He opens an envelope and he's just reading a piece of paper, and he doesn't really turn to Sadie, but he is talking to her when he says, it's like no invisible ink, no exploding envelope paste. Sometimes the mail really is just the mail. It's boring, but it's true. And he just puts the letter away that he was reading into his absolutely cacophonous backpack. His cornucopic, enormous, multi-zipper backpack.
Sadie, where are we? Are we outside of the principal's office?
You are currently seated outside the principal's office. You have been summoned here. You suspect it has to do with this recent infraction, but you don't have any information yet. You're being left to sweat out in the foyer.
Okay, yeah. Sadie is doing her best to portray Zen. She's got out her compact. She is just carefully examining, making sure there are no stress lines on her face. There is not a single eyelash out of line because everything must look perfect and no one actually has any evidence on her. And therefore, why would she ever even act like there's a problem? Because there's no problem. If there was a problem, then she would probably not be head cheerleader anymore and she'd probably lose face and it would ruin her mother's legacy and everything would go to absolute crap, but that's not going to happen. So we're just taking deep breaths.
Bo has, like, he's taking a letter out of his jacket pocket and he's reading it intently, not looking over it at Sadie's. A complete opposite of a meltdown. Totally fine. Nothing is going wrong. Bo has a voice. When Bo speaks, and Sadie's already familiar with him, but when Bo talks, he talks in a manner that suggests he has never once been upset or in a rush in his entire life. He just sort of calmly dissembles, and he just sort of says to her, as soon as he hears the click of the compact close, he goes, "Who do you think ratted us out?"
She's just going to give him a look and say, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
And at that exact moment, the door to the principal's office creaks open ominously and just sits there waiting for you.
Okay, she's going to stand up. She's going to toss her hair, smooth out the lines in her cheerleader uniform, and just look at Bo and say, "Well, we might as well get this over with. You coming?" And she's just going to saunter right in.
Bo walking behind her, glancing down at the ominous small amount of fog that rolled out when the principal's door opening. And Bo's just going to be like, "That's a nice touch. He finally got it installed. I'm really happy for him." And he just continues walking in.
Inside Principal Axiom's office, you of course see a surprisingly enormous, elegantly appointed office with a towering oak desk standing there with this absolutely palatial chair on the other side with its back to you. You cannot see who is seated in this chair, as is always the case when you meet Principal Axiom. He is seated away from you, and you can only see the shoulders of his elegant tux that he is always wearing, despite being the principal of a high school. He's always dressed in a tux, always dressed to the nines, but you can only ever see his shoulders and the top hat that he wears.
And the establishing reverse shot that shows Sadie and Bo walking up to the mysterious chair back, Bo does lean over to Sadie and says, "Lunch money says he's either wearing a monocle or top hat. I'm going with top hat. Are you going with monocle?"
Yeah, why not? And she's going to cut Principal Axiom off at the pass and just say, "Hi, Principal Axiom. It's really nice to see you today. How's your wife? How are the dogs?"
Sit down, both of you.
Oh, is this not about dog sitting this weekend? I could have sworn that's what you were going to talk to me about.
Yes, of course, that was a valiant attempt, Miss Dealins, but I'm afraid we have more serious matters to discuss. And from a chute in the ceiling, an enormous file lands on the desk in front of Bo. This is your file of, shall we say, unauthorized activities. A certain amount of leeway is, of course, expected of our special students at Flemming High School. But this does go a little bit beyond the pale. The chute opens again, and a twice as large file lands in front of Sadie. And Miss Dealins, quite impressive, I must say.
Bo takes the top paper off the top of his pile, looks at it, and he's like, it was the chess club that turned me in. I should have known. And he'll turn to Sadie and be like, "It's not the sharpest knives you have to worry about. It's the closest ones."
How did you... This is a very large file. Honestly, I am impressed that you were able to find this amount of stuff on me. And she's going to page through it. How many bugs are in this school? I thought I found most of them.
As headmaster, I know you can't expect me to actually reveal that information, so I will treat that question as rhetorical. I'm sure you're both wondering why you're here. This is not simply a chance to stroll down memory lane of your various infractions. No, we have a bit of a situation. As you both probably know, the annual Capture the Flag event with our rivals at the People's Republic of High School is coming up. And unfortunately, our team has gone dark.
Oh, what do you mean gone dark? I
Do you
hope
mean
what
that-
you mean is that they've just vanished into the shadows exactly like they were expected to do.
Do you mean gone dark? Do you mean they've gotten sad?
Well, they very well may be sad, and they certainly have gone directly into the shadows, but not exactly as was planned. This, of course, is all very privileged information. If any of it comes to light, I will be forced to expel you and disavow all knowledge of your activities. You understand?
I do, and when star students turn emo and goth, that really is very disappointing. So I can see why you would need to keep that a bit hush-hush.
Bo will just nod sagely, like Sadie's making a great point.
And as you may or may not be aware, as freshmen at our valiant institution, we are on a bit of a losing streak in this particular set of events. And it is beginning to, so we say, wear on the school spirit. And so I do not think it is wise for this particular failure to come to light, as it were.
It's not, Bo will say, it's not lacrosse, is it? Because this is just a costume, and he points to he's wearing a Letterman's jacket, even though he's a freshman, and it says lacrosse on the breast pocket. That's all he says. He just turns to Sadie, he's still pointing at it like, he doesn't mean lacrosse, does he? Because I don't know how to play lacrosse. Like I said, it's just a costume.
No, he doesn't mean lacrosse, Bo. Sit down, honey.
Bo just sits down. He just absolutely sits down.
You've heard of this before. Our school has this rivalry with the People's Republic of High School. We have this competition every single year. We've been losing a lot, but I am this school's shining hope and principal axiom. I will not let you down. You don't get to be head cheerleader as freshmen for nothing.
Yes, see that you don't. Of course, being that you are only two, admittedly impressive when it comes to sidestepping the rules students, you are going to need a larger team. For your first, I would highly recommend one Mr. Bernard Downs. Unfortunately, he is currently located in super detention and will need to be broken out, and then he will need to be forcibly coerced into going into the field. He is due for his mandatory semester in field work. He has been avoiding this for quite some time.
No, please not Burner. Please no. Anyone else? Come on. Like, there's this whole roster of really wonderful freshmen that I know are coming in. Maybe Greg, Doc. He is fantastic. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about him. Can we get him instead?
No, Bo, who is, after Sadie told him to sit down, is just thumbing through a copy of Beloved he pulled from his jacket pocket. He does just sort of glance up mid-chapter and point out, sir, she does have a point. Burner's the only guy with a stack of paper taller than hers.
This is true, and it's impressive that you know that. But yes, unfortunately, school rules do require that he have one semester of fieldwork, and that semester is now. So he simply must be part of this particular excursion.
This is a classic case of star students having to be weighed down by other students who need to be pulled up. Why do I have to be punished because he needs help? That doesn't seem fair, Principal Axiom.
The world of spies is not fair, Miss Dealins.
Oh, please. She's going to sit down with her arms crossed in a huff.
Be that as it may, you can certainly choose whichever additional agents you wish. I would suggest no more than a total team of 6. Otherwise, you are going to have a great deal of difficulty keeping this secret not only from our rivals, but also from your fellow students and teachers who, of course, can know nothing of this excursion. As far as everyone knows, the original team is still on the job and doing well.
Well, thank you for trusting us with this mission, Principal Axiom. We will keep the secret. We will break out Burner. We will get more people to join our cause, and we will capture the flag. Yes, Bo.
Bo will, who is currently just quietly by himself, highlighting portions of his copy of Beloved as if to review later. Just closes it and puts it back in his jacket and says, just so I understand, Principal, we need to do a job where the people we trusted to do it initially are gone in a school that we don't trust, and we can only pull 6 other students who we maybe kind of trust because we can't talk to more students who we can't trust, and we can't consult with other teachers who we also can't trust. Did I get that right?
Largely correct. You should only pull 3 additional students in addition to yourselves, and you must also keep in mind that traditionally, it is understood, if not precisely accepted, that our students are doing reconnaissance and preparing traps prior to the official start of the festivities this afternoon. You will not be having the luxury of that time, so you are already behind.
With that, because they're both, Sadie and Bo are both looking at the principal, and Bo will just sort of lean over to Sadie and be like, you remember what I said about not being the sharpest knife you have to worry about is the closest? That these are the closest.
You're not wrong, Bo. You're not wrong.
This is a situation where I want to remind you, if there are any investigative skills you would like to use in this office, feel free to declare what skills you would like to use and what information you are trying to get and how you would use that skill to obtain said information.
So, since you're sending us into this mission as freshmen, which I thought typically isn't done, right? Isn't it usually the upperclassmen who are part of the capture the flag scenario?
Yes, that is the typical situation, and the team that has gone missing was entirely made from upperclassmen. At this juncture, given that this is all on the dark web, as it were, we need to ensure that none of the usual suspects are doing anything that might raise suspicions and call to light that this is happening.
Who are the usual suspects? What do you mean?
Any of the upperclassmen who would normally be tasked with such
Oh, interesting. So they don't know also that their classmates have gone missing and that we are being called in. Why are you recruiting us and not other upperclassmen with more experience and more training?
Because, as I just said, Miss Dealins, if we were to mobilize additional upperclassmen, it would draw suspicion and curiosity as to why upperclassmen are looking into a thing that already has a team involved, whereas freshmen could simply be over-enthusiastic.
Interesting. So you messed up and you are asking us to cover your tracks.
I have done nothing. The team who was chosen by a jury of the peers at this school has failed in their mission as far as we can tell.
It sounds like they've probably failed in their mission because you didn't train them properly, and now you can't lose face. So you are asking a favor from us, and it sounds like we should be able to get favors in return.
I believe in this situation, the favor is that you don't end up in super detention and cut from the cheerleading squad for all of the infractions currently sitting on this desk.
But if you put me in super detention, then I wouldn't be able to do this mission for you. And I'm obviously the best of the best.
And should you refuse, that is where you will end up, and I shall find someone else who is more motivated to take this task.
Bo is going to use notice to see if via any reflective surfaces, windows, glass holding in pictures or paintings, any monitors, to see if he can notice if the turned around principal is wearing a monocle or a top hat.
He is definitely wearing a top hat. In the reflection off of the various panes of glass, the light is done very artistically to make sure that even through the reflections, his face is entirely cast in shadow. You're not sure if there's a monocle, but there is 100% a top hat.
Bo just internally is happy that he beat the spread, but he doesn't bring that up.
Would you like to make a point buy on that notice?
No, I think I'm okay. I think is it no? No, I'm
I'm telling you, there's something else you would.
Right, yeah. There's he's because we're dealing with a claw. We're dealing with an Inspector Gadget claw here, so it's tempting. But I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to hold on to that notice point. I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay.
Well, it seems to me that since you have this one group that's already failed, you should be trying your best to set us up for success. So perhaps you should let us know a bit more about these traps that have been set, or any other pertinent information that would be helpful, since you, Principal Axiom, are apparently able to see and notice so many things, according to these stacks of files in front of us.
That is an interesting tactic. I am going to say you can, if you want to get him to spill the beans, you can attempt to make a shrink roll, or if you have a investigative ability you would like to use, you can try to use that as well.
Interesting. I do have cop or teacher talk. I have high school society. I have negotiation.
Negotiation would probably be the one you want here. What are you trying to get from this?
I'm just basically trying to get him to give us any helpful information for succeeding in our quest.
Gotcha. Okay. He can give you a little more information. Yes, the team that has gone missing was in touch with several interested parties who might be a good place to start, at the very least looking into what it was they were investigating, what their reconnaissance had already dug up, and perhaps save you some additional legwork, and if you're lucky, perhaps even lead you down the path to figuring out where they are and what happened to them. The first is that there are several teachers who might be worth speaking to, and of course there are several clubs as well that they were involved with, who they had pulled in to their investigation, who would be of use in this situation. I of course can't know everything that is going on. I simply know the bird's eye view of what is happening. And at this point, I think I'm going to send y'all a high school map, which is going to show you all of the various places in school, as well as some of the various clubs and teachers who might be worth checking out, based off of the information being given to you by Axiom. And I'm just going to have to trust you not to look at the second map, because that is the map of a place that you haven't been to yet.
While Mickey is doing that, if we can assume that Sadie and Bo are walking towards the super detention facility. Bo, who during the walk has pulled a small game console out of his jacket pocket and is playing it. Although instead of saying Game Boy, it says Flame Boy. I'm sure that won't come up later. He recalls that Sadie asked why them to the principal, and without looking up from his game console, somehow managing to not run into a locker and stay keeping the pace up with Sadie, he goes, "Have you figured it out yet? Why he picked us? Have you figured it out?" And he remembers that he didn't actually specify why he picked us. Have you figured it out yet?
I mean, I just assumed it's because we're both incredibly capable and very good at our jobs.
It's also because of those stacks of papers. If anybody who was better behaved than us went, they would get noticed. If anybody worse behaved than us went, they wouldn't get the job done.
Excuse you. I am extraordinarily well behaved. He only thinks that I'm not well behaved because he's a spy.
The point is, we're the best of the worst. That's why he picked us.
So you know where super detention is, and if you would look at your handy-dandy maps, that is on the left side of the map, underneath the library, because where else would super detention be?
She did want to ask a follow-up question, since our first mission is super detention. She wanted to ask about, any, if he, could give them a heads up of what obstacles they should expect in breaking him out of super detention, since he seems to know everything about this entire high school.
Super detention is beneath my day-to-day notice. I leave that to the instructors who are in charge of that sort of thing, so I would expect the unexpected.
Okay, so incredibly unhelpful. I don't really understand how you still have your job at Principal Axiom, but I will do my best with the peanuts that you have thrown us.
Bo, again, just in passing, not even anyone, just goes, "I'm allergic to peanuts."
So I think the first thing we need to do here, Bo, before we go blasting in to super detention, is we need to find some kind of. He said that the instructors who are in charge of super detention might know something. Perhaps we might be able to find some kind of blueprint or some kind of list of safeguards that are in super detention. If there is a laser maze, I want a map of that laser maze.
All right. Is there a skill you want to try to use to get that?
Yes. How would I go about I assume I probably know. Would I know, like, which teachers typically have to run super detention?
I would say that would probably be...
Would it be high school society?
High School Society. That's the one.
High School Society?
High School Society.
Okay.
With High School Society, you are, of course, aware of what teachers are in charge of what, who tends to be stuck with what unsavory jobs. No one seems to want to really be in charge of super detention.
No.
It's a frustrating place to be. And so the driver's ed teacher, Coach Alex Ryder, frequently ends up in charge of super detention.
Wonderful. Is there, like, a window? Can we glance in now and see if he's in there?
Yes, he is currently in there. You see him, a normal chair and a normal desk in normal detention, but you know that super detention lies beneath regular detention.
Perfect. Okay, Bo, here is what we are going to do. He's in there, so what does that mean about his classroom?
It's empty.
Exactly. So we are going to go into his classroom and we're going to see if he has any plans for super detention so we can find what obstacles are waiting for us.
Good plan. What if he's got cameras in his room?
That's what you're for, right?
And he just sort of like does a shrug nod, like, yeah, no, you got a point.
You take care of the cameras and I'll get us in.
When they get to the door, there is one camera. I assume the first camera would be outside of the door of the classroom.
Yes, of course.
Bo's going to look at it. I'm not going to roll explosives or technical. That's too straightforward. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you, can I use High School Society or maybe Shrink to know that Coach Ryder gets very tunnel visioned if you present him with a problem or an issue, something? Can I know that you can get his attention if you present him with something that he doesn't immediately know and he has to figure out? Something like
Shrink
that.
would be more of a action skill if you were in a scene to try to figure him out or do that in the moment. But I will allow High School Society to observe the coach in his natural environment and to have seen that he is, of course, as football coaches often are, easily confused.
Rude.
So Bo's going to put his backpack down and rifle around in it and pull out a copy of Spy News Today, the Wall Street Journal of the spy world. And he's going to turn to page 7 and fold it over in half. And he's like, all right, as soon as you hear me start talking, go. And he's going to walk up and jiggle the handle of the door until the camera turns toward him. He's going to move away from the door. And he's turned to the crossword in the newspaper. He's like, hey, Coach Ryder, I needed your help. I need an 11-letter word for something that diverts attention.
11 letters? Hold on, let me get one of my shoes off. We'll figure this thing out.
Wonderful. I will use infiltration to try. I assume the door is locked to his empty classroom.
Certainly it is, but with infiltration, you can absolutely break in.
Do I need to roll anything?
Yes, go ahead and give me a roll. It's going to be a difficulty 4.
But I think because my infiltration is really high, something that helps there. Don't I? I thought I could just like blast through any like standard locks. Is it? If this is, I feel like I remember.
You're correct. There is. I think you have 8 points in infiltration, right?
Yeah, I have a 10 in infiltration.
Yep. So in that case, you absolutely are able to blast through ordinary locks, and there are high fashion locks on super detention, but the coach did not use those in his own office. So how are you blasting through this lock?
I'm just using a bobby pin.
Perfect. You pull a bobby pin out of your hair with a little bing noise.
And there's like a little like, it gets like the little sheen on it, like the little like lens flare, cartoon lens flare.
Absolutely. The camera zooms in on it, and then there is literally we cut around to the other side, and you are opening the door. It took you maybe a second to get through that lock. And you are inside.
I toss my ponytail. Wonderful. Are there any other cameras around?
None that you see in his office.
Okay. Can I do a quick... I don't see any cameras. Okay. Should be fine then. I'm going to start poking around in his drawers.
There's a minor cut while Sadie's working, back to Bo going, no, sorry, Coach. Something shiny is 14 letters. It doesn't fit. It cuts right back.
So what skill do you want to try to use to find information? Like, what kind of information are you looking for?
I'm looking for basically like anything that'll help me get into super detention. In my head, I was thinking like a blueprint that would say like the obstacles and any like difficulties that I would need to get around in order to like get into it. Codes, lockbox, like, entry codes, things of that nature.
Sure. If you have cryptography, data recovery, I think those would be the ones that would be necessary to pull that off of his computer.
Oh, off his computer. I was hoping that because he's a coach, he would have it printed out and stuck in a drawer.
Fair enough. I would say you could probably use tradecraft to know how to toss an office.
Okay, that's not infiltration.
This is not one you need to roll on. This is a skill to find a clue.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, then tradecraft. I guess. Yeah, I didn't put tradecraft or notice.
I'll accept either tradecraft or notice. They're going to give you slightly different things.
Ooh, okay. Let's do tradecraft.
Tradecraft. All right. So you go shuffling through his desk. You find his logbook, which gives his fairly regular schedule. He's on super detention rotation a lot, and you notice that his coffee break is coming up soon because he is a very regular man. If you would like to spend a point in your tradecraft, you can get some very useful plans and such.
I would love to spend a point in tradecrafts in order to get my useful plans that I'm here for.
Absolutely. So spend a point in tradecraft, and you find in a secret hidden compartment in the bottom of his drawer, which is very childishly hidden. Honestly, a toddler could have found it. A stack of all of the plans for super detention, including the rotating schedule of different surveillance devices and laser wires that he uses for this week, last week, next week. So you have all of the traps that are going to be in super detention right now.
Amazing. I'm going to shove it all into my mini backpack and scamper out. On the way out, I am going to duck beneath the notice of the camera, and I'm going to tap on Bo's knee and give him a complicated series of hand gestures indicating that I got the stuff and we need to get going without the coach seeing us, so wrap it up. Let's go.
After the entire, there is a beat, and he just gives one single thumbs up. It's just so he'll wait for the coach's attention to be caught again. He's like, you know what, coach? I think, you know what I think? I think I actually forgot some of the crossword boxes. I think I need to go pick up the other page of the paper to get them on. That's my fault. I'll talk to you later. I'll tell you. I'll let you know when I finish it. And he just wanders off of the camera the opposite direction.
Oh, no, I got it. It's skullduggery. And sure enough, as your pilfering of his office has revealed, he does in fact get up shortly thereafter to go get his usual cup of coffee, leaving you a nice window to sneak into super detention.
Perfect. Let's go.
And since you already have all of the plans on the traps, I'm going to say it's an infiltration at a 2. This is trivial.
Okay, so that means I need to roll.
Roll, and you're looking for at least a 2. So basically, don't roll a 1. Did you roll a 1?
Yes, but can I push the roll? There's rules for that. But here we go. If a simple test has failed, you must spend more points on the roll than you did on the previous roll and provide an explanation for why you have increased your odds of success. Otherwise, you cannot retry a failed test.
You are absolutely correct. I do remember that now that you mention it. You can 100% do that.
Okay, so I am now going to spend, I didn't spend any points that time, so I'm going to spend 1 point this time on infiltration, right?
And so what went wrong and what are you doing differently this time?
Okay, so what went wrong this time?
If you would like, I think Sadie set up a complicated system of pulleys and ropes to lower Bo in from the ceiling, and all of the pulley work is perfectly executed, but none of them were bolted in. So he just, he gets down like 4 or 5 inches and then just drops like a rock. But she manages to catch the rope in time before he just completely face plants on the linoleum.
Okay, perfect. Well, that was one ever. You know, I am always here for people to try new things. I'm so glad that you put yourself out there and you were so brave and you wanted to see what it was like to be a cat burglar. But this time I'm just going to do it, okay?
Again, there's another beat, and he just gives a thumbs up from his near-death spot down in the
Perfect.
super
I'm so
detention
glad
facility.
you're on board. Really pleasant working with you. I'm gonna go now, and she's just gonna like sidle in and hopefully execute this flawlessly.
Just a quick question. Is he being lowered to the ground or are you tying him off?
It depends on what the obstacle is. If there is a bunch of like pressure sensors, then she'll just tie him off and sidle in past him.
Absolutely, there are pressure
Okay,
sensors.
great.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, so she's just gonna tie him off with her expert knot tying skills, and just kind of like leave him hanging there, and then she's just gonna sidle in, and when she goes past him, she's gonna pat him on the head.
Give me another infiltration roll.
Well, that's a 2 now because I spent a point, right?
You spent a point, so that is now a 2. So
This dice is going in dice jail. Like, are you kidding me?
It was the beautiful artificer one too. Oh man, that sucks.
Sucks. I have other. I have hot pink dye that will honestly work just fine for this as well. These are my Barbie spy agent dice. So dice.
Oh, that is awesome.
So you do, in fact, tie him off perfectly fine. You scamper down. It's this really nice, acrobatic, bouncing, jumping from wall to wall, landing in a perfect pirouette in the one spot on the floor that is not pressure censored. And then the rope just gives way, and he lands flat on the floor. Fortunately, you heard the rope breaking and were just in time to flick off the power switch just before he hits.
Bo, can you try to be a little bit quieter, please? We are actually doing a high stakes infiltration at the moment.
I can't help myself. I am. It's threes. There's a beat, and he gives another thumbs up. From his face doesn't come off the linoleum. He is still face down. It's just thumbs up. Thumbs up from his backpack has crushed him.
And David, what is the situation that they find inside super detention?
I think what they're going to see is what looks like normal detention of just a bunch of kids sitting at their desks, like working while, the coach is or would be sitting at his desk, kind of overseeing everything if he weren't distracted. Except in the back corner, Hannibal Lecter style, is a gurney. Sorry, a trolley with a kid in a straight jacket with a mask over his face, strapped in several times with a padlock.
Plot twist, that's not Burner.
I was thank you. I was just about to say it. And then Burner walks up like, hey guys.
You know what I did to Hannibal?
You absolutely took my joke. Absolutely took my
You
joke.
set it up so perfectly you couldn't help it.
Yes.
Sorry.
So the camera pans over to that, and then just pans down and sitting at a desk is Burner.
Can it please go to Bo and Sadie first? We're like, okay, hey, very that's not Burner, right? Come on out, Burner. Very funny. They got Hannibal tied up again.
When Sadie and Bo walk in from like stage right up to Burner, when they pass the padlocked Hannibal student, Bo just says, "Hey, Greg." I just keeps walking.
No, we actually have a Greg. It has to be like Davey. Hey, Davey.
Yeah.
There you go, Scott. Perfect.
Just gives like the nod, like the sup nod. Yeah, like
You got caught chewing on the teachers again.
see, I'll see you in Model UN later.
Stop, not Model UN.
All right, so now we see Burner sitting at a desk. He is wearing a trench coat, the standard uniform of the disaffected youth of the 90s, combat boots, old ratty jeans, a black t-shirt, and sandy brown hair that is either bed hair from not showering for several days or brushing it, or he spent hours that morning carefully gelling it to look like he had slept on it for several days without brushing. Impossible to know.
That is perfect. I just realized while you were giving the absolute crisp McDonald's Sprite description. I realized that neither Katie nor I described our characters physically.
Literally did not.
Well, that sounds like a deficiency on your part. So anyway, as I was saying, sandy brown hair with the whole bedhead thing, fingerless gloves, obviously, and completely blacked out sunglasses to where you can't tell if he's awake, asleep, looking at you or not. Burner is also a fourth-year freshman, which he has failed the freshman year 3 times. You also have to take into account he skipped all of junior high and has been a freshman since he was 11 and is now the same age as every other freshman. As a fourth-year freshman. So a bit of a legend at Flemming High for that reason.
In my head, I'm just hearing the record scratch noise and going, yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
You're not going to find out.
Tough cookies.
The plot twist on the record scratch is the camera starts focusing on the Hannibal Lecter kid.
Nope, focus.
Yeah, we're just it's Spy High. We have to subvert every single trope on the way to the actual joke. So Bo does wave at Burner, and we'll take the opportunity right here to describe our characters. I think if you can in your mind imagine if a cinder block got to be a real boy, that is Bo. Bo is he is broad across the shoulders. He is thick-necked, lantern-jawed, probably half a foot to a foot taller than almost any other student, and he's wearing a Letterman's jacket and a backpack that looks like it could prepare you to climb Mount Everest if Mount Everest was on the moon. It is the most complicated, convoluted backpack anyone has ever seen in this or any other life. Under his Letterman's jacket, he does wear a white t-shirt that says band name on it. And he, of course, has, since it's the late 80s, but also the future, he has acid wash jeans and bright red Converse high tops.
What color Converse high tops?
Bright red.
Ah, drat.
He also, he has dark brown hair with a white streak in it, which probably comes from the fact that he's had about 18 growth spurts in the past 2 years.
They walk in and Sadie looks at Burner and says, "Hey, Burner, you actually need to step outside for a little bit. Your presence has been requested by Principal Axiom, and that's what all of you," she's going to gesture at everyone else who's sitting in super detention, "are going to tell Mr. Ryder happened. Okay? Thank you." She's going to toss her hair and just start walking out. So I will now take this opportunity to describe her. There's really not much to describe on Sadie, honestly. Just think of every head cheerleader you have ever seen. And that's her. She's about 5'2". She's got her hair up in a high ponytail. In any other school, she would probably be blonde, but this is Spy High, so she actually has jet black hair. Blonde hair is just too obvious when you're trying to sneak around in the dark inside of people's vents. Like, it's just, it doesn't work. But she does have a sparkly, bright red hair bow in her ponytail, and she is wearing her cheerleader uniform like she does most days. And she has bright white chucks on, high tops, of course, because it's that time period. But she has like the little like lace socks on top, so you can just see like the little bit of lace peeking out. She also has a necklace, and on that necklace is a very chunky ring. And anyone who would glance at it could tell that it looks like an old, like, vintage class ring. Otherwise, just like demure little studs in her ears. She does have 2 holes because we have to be a little bit edgy when we are in Spy High. And yeah, just like otherwise like a simple little bangle on her wrist. And a little mini backpack. It is also red because we like those colors. What are the school's colors, actually?
I would assume, given the Fighting Flamingos being the mascot of Flemming High, that it would be a pink uniform.
Please tell me the Letterman's jacket is pink and white.
I kind of like the alliteration of the Fighting Flamingos of Flemming High.
Okay, so let me take that back. Then her bow is actually hot pink. It's not red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta have school spirit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she's in her cheerleader uniform, and it's pink and white.
As she walks away from where she said something to Burner, Bo just sort of gives him a sympathetic smile. He's like, "I regret to inform you that you bravely volunteered to fight and die on a field trip."
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm strictly on the R&D track. I don't do field trips.
No, Principal Axiom has requested you specifically, so we have to go.
I'm pretty sure I've never been specifically requested for anything.
Bo will open his backpack, and like in the pile of letters and mail that he was reading before, he pulls out an envelope and letter that says, a specific request for Bernard, quote, Burner, end quote, Downs, from Principal Axiom, asking him to go and fight and die bravely on a field trip. Like it's written like the most normal text document. It looks like a hall pass. It's just like, here you go, and he just hands it to him.
I'm not even gonna make you spend for that. Yeah, you can have that one.
I didn't even know these existed, and yet I can tell this is not a forgery. Fine. Bernard goes to close the laptop where he is watching the footage of Bo falling from the ceiling on just a loop.
Bo sees, like, glances at it when he starts to walk away. He's like, "Hey, send me a copy of that," and just continues walking out.
And as y'all are walking out, you see Hannibal kind of shuffles in his chair.
No, honey, you're gonna have to wait till the next one.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll always have Molly you in, Scotty.
Oh.
Or Davey. His name is Scott Dave.
Scott Dave, yes.
Scott Dave.
Okay, so I assume we make it out of super detention without any hiccups.
While Bo's catching up with Sadie, who of course is doing the power command walk, she has to get her steps in.
And she just expects you to follow, so.
Right.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm going to get in a lot of trouble if my desk is just empty. Someone's got to be sitting there.
No, remember, we just said that Principal Axiom has specifically requested you, and everyone who is sitting here in detention is going to tell Mr. Ryder that very thing. So if he has a problem, he can take it up with Principal Axiom.
Bo will just sort of shrug and it's like, what are they going to do? Put you in super duper detention?
That's a really good point.
They haven't finished the super duper detention room yet. They can't do it.
That's a really, really
Also,
good
I'm
point.
pretty sure you could shut down all access to super duper detention anyway if you wanted to.
Out of the interior Letterman jacket pocket, he does pull out a pile of that dot matrix paper. And even though it's a massive pile of paper, he's like, all right, Sadie, I think Axiom gave us like 6 options, 7 maybe.
Let's not discuss this in the hallway.
Bo will look around and see that there are like 18 to 19 cameras and bugs and like microphones labeled not a listening device go about your secret business. And he will just give her like a small nod. Like, yep, no, that makes sense.
And she'll lead the way to the secret briefing room.
Yes, of course. You all know where the secret briefing room is. It is the one place guaranteed to not have any bugs. Probably. And I think that is where we are going to cut it for this episode. That was a wild one.
Next time on Saturday Morning Roleplay, where have the missing students vanished to? What dangers lurk in the shadows waiting for our intrepid spies to begin their investigation? Will Scott Davey make it to Model UN? Find out on the next exciting episode of Saturday Morning Roleplay.
So, what is our very special message for this episode?
Always remember to describe your character when they first appear on screen.
It's not a crime unless you get caught doing it.
Remember, kids, permanent records are real.
Don't accept stacks of paper as evidence against you unless you read every single piece of paper.
Just because you think you didn't get caught doesn't mean you didn't get caught.
Once they've punished you to the fullest extent of the law, there's nothing else for them to do.
Once you have life, what are they going to do? Add more life?
Exactly. I'm never getting out. What are you going to do? Bump it up to never, ever?
Don't go into Model UN.
No, totally go into Model UN. He's hungry.
Oh, poor guy.
To learn.
Of course, for knowledge. Saturday Morning Roleplay is produced and edited by David Nair and MC Williams. Music is by David Nair. The SMRPG logo is by Michael Ray Williams. Email us at SaturdayMorningRoleplay@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Follow us on Facebook at Saturday Morning RPG, on Instagram at Saturday.morning.rpg, and on Blue Sky at Saturday Morning RPG.